to the live stream. Let this roll in a little bit. But the whole reason and the plan, a couple new members, Scottish Tanks. Thank you so much for becoming a member, and Kodiak becoming a member as well. But anyways, the whole reason why I made this video is I guess there was a lot of confusion to why I was going to start making a water change system now, since I I was surprised it actually caused more Friday night's Q&A. I figured I would have got a little more buzz out of that. But anyways, the whole reason why I'm doing a water change system now, like I've gone a year, changes I never said was a bad thing. You just have to watch out for them. If you actually look at my water change versus no water change, whether you should do it video, I did a live stream where I talked about it because it was a hot topic at the time, because there's a lot of push for no water changes. There's a lot of push for lots and lots of water changes. And just like everything comes with balance. In life, we've got to learn how to balance things. So shouldn't go extreme one way, shouldn't go extreme the other way. And I've always mentioned, I would do 25% water changes a week, because that reoxygenation helps keep algae down and just helps get you into the tank to maintain it and to keep it better. So saying that, I will never be able to hold up to a schedule for my whole fish room like that, just because I have so many tanks, hundreds, that I have to mess with myself. And so I know from experience that I can keep a lot of fish, pretty much most all fish, in a no filter, given big enough water volume. And no, you don't need plants. Plants isn't the big thing. No, it isn't deep substrate. It's biologically sound water, which is important. And this is why we don't do huge water changes, because when you do huge water changes with, say, tap water from the city that is pretty much sterile, it's dead, there's not a whole lot of living biology within that water. It's not as alive. So if you have a well, it's kind of different, because those are a little more lively with the water. So it's an extreme thing. You don't want your water to be too sterile. Granted, I've seen many fish live in sterile water too. I've seen some of these fish shows that I have been to where they judge the fish, they bring in a certain species, and the best one wins the show. But I've seen where these fish come from all over, from all kinds of different breeders, and then just stick it in containers with just water pretty much straight out of the tap. A lot of live bearer shows would do that. Killifish shows would do that. I personally would bring some of my biologically sound water to put in that tank that they put into the show tank, just so the fish would have better chance. But I've seen these fish live in sterile environments, so it's not like a complete death sentence doing water changes, and if you've done any big water changes. The problem with those big water changes become with your biological bacteria that is in your aquarium already. So say if it's already established and then you rip through and do a huge water change, if it's really established, it can bounce back really well. But if it's kind of like on the cusp of it's established but not quite established, you can create bacteria blooms, because it can actually kill the beneficial bacteria. That reoxidization, if it's too much, can cause problems with that bacteria, give you cloudy water, and give you those results that you don't want with your aquarium. And saying that, there's balance between it all. Main reason, and I have talked about doing this water change system for a long time. I did the same water change system in my last house. It's just I come up with this system about the time that I moved from my old house. So for those who don't know, my old house had hundreds of aquariums, and I sold the whole house with the aquariums, everything in it, and had just done a new water change system. Like, I had my inflow, but I was just working on my outflow, and got that all finished for the new guy to make it easy on him. So I'm doing that same system here. And I do actually have a video of that water change system. It's just a lot of people didn't see it because YouTube doesn't send all my stuff to my subscribers and all that stuff. They only do like a certain percentage these days, the way the algorithm goes. So if you do type in LRB water change system, and I think even if you hit the outflow keyword, either way, it should come up in the search and it will give you that video on how I'm creating the outflow system that I'm about to be working on for this water change system. I think it showed the actual intake too. But either way, there's lots of videos on my water change systems. And it's different than most you would see. It's something you don't have to drill. Get the water out, it will get the water in, and it'll just make life easier for me. And a big component to why I'm doing it now, because it's something I could push off. It's one of those things, oh, I could do it later, oh, I could do it later, because I know I can keep the aquariums without the water changes. And it keeps them in more of a homeostasis too when you do that. When you don't do water changes with planted aquariums, you can keep them more in a homeostasis. But when you're doing water changes and you're reoxygenating that reoxygenation really feeds those plants nitrogen, carbon, all kinds of stuff that they get from atmospheric gases and things that they normally strive to grow towards to get out of the water to get. And so if I do water changes, I will be growing more plants, which I do plan on doing, and organizing my plants and stuff like that here more in the future. And also, for me, while I'm in build mode, it's easier for me to keep my tanks in homeostasis. So it wasn't like, oh, I've got to do this right now. But in my opinion, it's always good to make it rain. Water changes is like making it rain. Add that little freshy fresh a little bit when you can. Because, you know, out in wild, if it's always a drought, I mean, the water quality, Granted, you can do top offs for a long time. You can do top offs for a long time. But when it comes to growing out fish, it's very important that you do turn over some water. You'll get better growth out of them, quicker growth out of them, and you'll be able to grow more out from it if you're just doing water changes. There's still all going to be no filter. I'm not going to be putting filters in here. The only way I would be putting filters in here is if I actually produced my own filters, and still I don't think I would do that because I don't want to hear them. It's so peaceful, it's so zen in here. I would not want to hear all the bubbles. But yeah, for the most part, I'm going to be making it rain with this whole new water change system, and it's going to make my life so much easier because everything's going to be turn valve. I'm making videos of it all. A lot of the members who have saw on Saturday saw a lot of what's been going on, kind of the direction I'm going. I got a lot done since then. I actually got all the inlines in on the new rack just over this weekend. About to work on the outflow, but there's a hurricane coming right now. So we've been kind of getting prepared for the hurricane because it's like directly coming our way. Hopefully it doesn't hit us too hard if it does hit us. And yeah, so that's that in a nutshell. And then also, hey, 10% off on the website. Now, as far as shipping this week, I don't know what's going to happen due to the whole hurricane thing. So we're going to have to play by ear by that. But I do have a 10% code on right now because I am trying to get some more supplies for this plumbing project. There's still a lot that I kind of got to get to get more of it done. More like just getting the sticks, the PEX pipes and stuff like that. So if you want to help support and been looking for something for your aquarium, check out the website, lrbaquatics.com. We've got fish, shrimp, plants, all kinds of cool stuff in there. All grown here, not imported, not farmed out of the water. And it's good stuff. So got that out of the way. You guys know me, I'm not always promoting it, but I think right now it's kind of a crucial point to where I do need to kind of promote things. So bear with me. I mean, really, without you guys, none of this would be possible. You guys are helping create all this. all the time with your guys' orders every day, and just I really appreciate y'all. So, all right, any questions about the water change system? What's going to be going on? Why I'm using it? Things I may have missed, and just let me know in the chat here. I'm gonna scroll out for questions. Hello, everybody, seeing you all in here. Hop into live chat. How long will the code last? The code will last until the 6th. Philly Cheese Aquatic says, yeah, I'm literally in the storm right now. How are you in the storm right now? I don't think it hit land yet. What was it? What were they calling it? Hurricane Idaho or